Don't say these 4 things if you're trying to be polite in English, especially in America. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're going to be talking about 4 things definitely you should not say if you're trying to be polite and you're trying to come across a good way. These are phrases that are very common. However, they are things you want to avoid. They sound simplistic, but a lot of the times they leave the conversation feeling a lot of the time a way you do not want. The person leaves the conversation feeling off, like something is actually wrong, especially if it's over text. People will take it the completely wrong way. We're going to talk about those 4 things and their replacements, things you can say better instead. Starting off strong with number 1 is I don't care. Now, this one sounds like it would be a fine phrase, right? Someone asks you, hey, do you want to come to the zoo with me? And they don't really have a strong opinion. You don't really have a strong opinion either way. You could go for it. You could not go for it. I don't care. It comes off the wrong way. It does. I mean, it sounds like it should be fine. I get it. But a lot of times people do not take it fine. When you say I don't care, they think what you mean is that you're just brushing them off. You're just being rude intentionally. You're just ignoring them. You don't even want to think about the offer. Hey, you want to come to the zoo with me? I don't care. Like, okay, you're not even going to respect me enough to give a yes or a no. That's kind of how it comes across. People do not like when you say, I don't care. A better word to be is, I'm good either way. Oh, I'm not sure. I could, maybe. I'll have to think about it. Something like that. That just comes off a lot better, Preferably, you would give them a straight up yes or no. But if you can't do that, you could be like, oh, let me check my schedule. I can let you know. I'm good either way. We could do whatever. What do you want to do right now? I don't care. People don't like that, right? It's just non-committal, right? We could do whatever. I'm cool with anything. So much better. Number 2, that's interesting. Now, we kind of gone over this again earlier in a previous video, but that's interesting is not really considered polite in a lot of contexts. Now, this one is a 50-50. There are certain times that you can say interesting. Like if someone says a fun fact or whatever, you'd be like, oh, that's interesting. Yeah, that is an okay thing to say. However, if someone says something like, I had a great idea, dude, and they're going into their depth of their plan, I had a great business plan, and they explain it to you, and you go, interesting, rude, so rude. That is not something you want to say. They're going to take that as, instead of complimenting them or being like, oh, I really think that's a good idea, you're like, interesting. It sounds derogatory. It just really does. It makes people think that, you're just brushing it off like, okay, I mean, kind of funny that you think that. I guess it's interesting that you would come up with something so stupid. I mean, that sounds dramatic for the phrase, but it really is how that comes across. So that is something you want to avoid. Better ways to say that would be like, that's fascinating, or I love that idea. Okay, that's a really good idea. Or if you don't even want to say that's a good idea and you would imply that it's kind of an interesting thing, you could just be like, fascinating, or okay, cool, or that's neat. Comes off the same way like that you're intending, but just it's just not rude, and it won't be taken rude, right? This is not just about trying to be rude. This is just about making sure that whatever you say comes off the way you want it to say, right? If you're trying to be rude, be my guest, say whatever. But once again, if you want, I want you to know what you're coming across as, and I want you to come across exactly the way you're intending. Always should know what you're saying and what people perceive of you. Number 3, fine. It's fine. That's fine. I'm fine. Don't use this phrase. Don't use fine. I'm sorry. Like, just wrap it up. Do not use that phrase. That is one of the most despised phrases throughout all people practically, right? It's fine. That's fine. I'm fine. Just no. Fine does not mean fine. Like, I cannot stress this enough. Fine does not mean fine. If you say I'm fine, no one believes that you're fine. When people say I'm fine in English, a lot of times what they mean is I'm not fine, but there's something really wrong, but I'm not going to tell you. I don't really want to talk about it. Or to some extent, if they're like, hey, are you mad at me? And you're like, I'm fine. And what a lot of times it does mean is when people say that, it's like, oh, I'm really mad at you, but I just don't want to tell you. I'm going to let you sit there and wonder what you did. Like, this is said a lot, I'd say, in relationships or, friendships, when someone's mad at the other person and they want them to know that they're mad at them, but they really don't want to tell them what the issue is. It's kind of just a crappy way to avoid communication, and people use it all the time, but it is not liked at all. People do not like you for saying that. Rule of thumb, if someone says it's fine, that's fine, I'm fine, absolutely not fine. Total opposite of being fine. Complete, utter opposite of being fine. Everything else but fine. Better phrases the saying said is I'm good, I'm cool, it's good, it's going well, it's going really well. It's going okay. If you want to say that it's good, but it's not like great. If you don't want to say it's great, you can just be like it's okay. It's okay. It comes off similar, just not in a bad way. It's okay. It's chill. Or just be honest. If something's wrong, it's bad. If someone asks, "Are you mad at me?" Just be like yes or no. Tell them what the problem is. Healthy communication. All those things so much better than I'm fine. I'm fine does not have a place in the dictionary, in my opinion. Well, there is a way to say fine as a compliment if you're calling someone fine. Hey, you're fine. Now, don't just walk up randomly to people and say that, but when someone says you're fine, they mean that you're attractive. Now, it's kind of like a little bit of a, kind of like street talk, not something I'd say most people say, and don't use that as a pickup line. Some people think that it's a great pickup line. I personally think it's pretty corny, but walking up to someone and being like, you're fine, nah. But people will say that in the comment sections of models and stuff all the time. They're so fine, that kind of thing. It just means attractive. Completely different word than what we're talking about. And now, fourth and final word, I'll think about it. Now, I want to clarify something. Earlier, we did say I'll think about it as a replacement for I don't care. I think, personally, I'll think about it is actually better than I don't care, but it's still not ideal. So if you have to say something better than if you want to say something that is similar to like I don't care, without actually being committal, saying no or yes, I'll think about it is better than I don't care. It comes off better. At the same time, it does not come off great. A better way, because it does sound almost like you want to say no, but you're not actually going to admit it. In the ideal world, anytime someone says I'll think about it, they mean that they're actually going to think about it. A lot of times it's not the case. It means I'll think about a way, I don't really want to be honest with you, so I'm going to think about a way to let you down slowly later on. So I'm just going to say, I'll think about it now, and then I'll say no later when I'm like behind my phone, not in person, not having to confront you face to face. Something like that. It's a way of basically avoiding and dodging a situation. However, it is still better than I don't care, which comes off almost objectively defensive or confrontational. So basically the replacement would be, instead of just saying I'll think about it, give them reasons why you wouldn't be able to. Like, be honest with them. If it's really you just don't want to, be like, honestly, I don't really feel like going out that night, or honestly, I had plans with someone else, but I'll see what I can do. So much better. Honestly, like, I don't want to do it. Just know. That's totally fine too. I mean, that's a good response. You're not, you're just letting them down. Sure, but you're being honest with them. So much better than just being like, I'll think about it. So those are 4 phrases to avoid in English if you're trying to be polite, trying not to be rude, and things you should just never say to a cashier, to your friend, to someone at the supermarket, someone at the mall, your family member, anybody. Just 4 things to try and avoid at all times in speaking English, and replacements that are so much better. If you guys like this video, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Please let us know what you think in the comments down below. We love feedback, and honestly, I love replying to comments. I cannot get enough of comments. I feel comment starved. So please let us know what you think in the comments. Any questions, concerns, video ideas you have. We are here to meet your guys' needs. Thank you so much for watching. We're proud of you. We love you. And we'll see you in the next one. Peace, guys.